Hello friends, welcome back. You would have seen my recent video where I published my latest income report for the month of August. If you have not yet watched that video, I request you to go ahead and check it out. So if you notice the number of articles I published on this particular my main niche blog, from which I'm making some money currently, it reached about 100 articles already, and I was hitting about 1,000 visitors per day a few weeks, 3 4 weeks back. From last couple of weeks there is some dip in the traffic, but otherwise for last 2 months consistently I was getting about a 30K traffic from the website, and I also published about 100 articles. So on an average for these kind of data points, the earning should be about $1,000 on an average. Of course there are multiple factors are there, like location from where you get the traffic and niche, what kind of content it is, and all those things. But my site more or less satisfies most of those criteria. Like number one, the topmost criteria what we look for in any of the niche website is from the earnings point of view, from where the origin of the traffic. Primarily the traffic is from USA, then your earnings potential would be high, followed by Europe, Australia, and other countries. Whereas if the traffic is primarily from Asian countries, your the actually the monetary monetization of that particular traffic will go down. That means for the same traffic, what you earn would be lesser if the primarily traffic is from Asian countries. But if the primarily traffic is from USA, followed by Canada, UK, Europe, these countries, then your earnings are typically will be high. So this $1,000 for about a 30,000 uh, page views per month on an average is calculated with an assumption that it's primarily the traffic is from US. And then the second assumption is the site is also have some sources to earn through affiliate, not purely based on the display earnings. Because if you are purely depending on the display earnings, your traffic need to be much little higher. Now if I look at my the statistics of my site, it's almost satisfies it, but still I'm struggling at about a 300, between 300 to $400. That means that almost nearly one third of the revenue that I should have been ideally earning, considering the traffic as well as other parameters. So I was doing some kind of a my analysis of my own site to identify what are all the mistakes I did, or else where did I go wrong. Instead of calling it as a mistake, where did I go wrong? I did this exercise just to ensure that going forward I will be little more cautious on some of these things. So what I felt was the earnings that I am getting from display ads is reasonably okay. So for about a I'm getting for per thousand views about a $12. Best case would be 20 25, but on an average $15 is a decent earnings per thousand views. So I'm hitting now about a $12. That's a decent. So where I got badly beaten up is on the affiliate revenue. So I am mainly depending on only Amazon. So uh, my conversions, sorry, my revenue from Amazon is very low. And on top of it, you know that few months back Amazon already slashed their commission rates. So in spite of that, still the income from Amazon is very low comparatively. So I was actually doing some analysis. What can I do better with respect to affiliate marketing, purely exclusively with focusing onto the affiliate commission? What can I do better? What did I do? What did I not do so well for my current website? So there are three major items that I found on my own, which I felt like I did not do good job. So I thought those will be useful for you, if you are planning to create your own website, because these are the mistakes that most of us do. I will tell you why, how we all do it. So if you look at my, if you can see my results because of those mistakes, you will realize those are significant. If you avoid it right now, then you need not to regret it at the later stage. That's the only intention. So if you have any plans to heavily focus on the site that is going to earn money through affiliate, especially Amazon affiliate, then please watch this video till the end, and then go and look at your own strategy, what you are doing with respect to your products, your site, then and see a scope to improve on those areas. Okay, that's the intention of this particular video. Let's get started. The first, the most important thing is that influences the Amazon affiliate commission is the product cost. I will tell you what happens when you, a new blogger or new website owner, when you start, your main focus would be somehow to get your content ranked and somehow to get some kind of good traffic. That would be the highest focus that we all will have. If you are starting new, after maybe 2 3 sites, then you will also realize all these problems. So if you are already created few sites, I need, this would be more or less, I think, duplication for you. You can skip this video also. But if you are a new blogger, this will be very useful. For a new blogger, all these things, this product cost and product category, all these things really don't look so important. The only focus would be how can I find that niche, then how can I find the keywords, how I can write the content, how I can get my site get ranked. So even if somebody advises in the beginning you need to do these 5 steps or 7 steps, the instant response from the new bloggers would be, in general, let me first get the traffic, then I will somehow figure out to monetize it. This is a very standard behavior or answer. I also gone through that. I never thought about anything else. Initially I thought about, okay, let me create a niche blog, let me write some content, and then let the site get ranked, then I will figure out the ways to monetize it. But your product cost plays a significant role in your Amazon affiliate commission. So what it means is, even when you are creating your own, the first set of article, when you are including the products into in that particular article, keep, just spare some time to select the products which are having a reasonably higher cost. The reason is, now on an average, the commission has come down to 3% or 4% from Amazon. If you are selling a product that costs about a $10 to $12, you are going to hardly earn about 40 cents or 50 cents per product sale. So to earn hundreds or thousands of dollars, you will have to sell thousands of products. Instead, if you pick a product about $100, then suddenly for each of the product sale, your commission would be about 3 to 4 dollars. It's a 10 times more. Effort is same. You are creating the same quantity of the content. You are going to include same number of products. Everything is same. Only difference is, in that first case, in the scenario one, you did not focus on the product cost and you just went ahead and included whatever your writer suggested or you felt at that time, mainly focusing onto the content. At later stage, you are very conscious in picking up the product as well that is higher in the cost, so that you can earn more revenue. That makes huge difference. I will show you my own example. So this is my affiliate commission data for entire this year. So if you see entire this year, total my commission is at about $700. And if you see here how many items got sold, nearly about 1200 items, 1200 products. And then if you look at the revenue here, it is about 17,000 US dollars. So if you divide the revenue divided by the products, it would come at about $14 plus. That's the average cost of the products that got sold through my website. And the niche I picked up is such kind of a niche where it is not so easy to find the high cost products. But still there are products at about a 30-40 dollar, but I never paid attention. I just picked up. Most of the products on my website are about $7, $8, $9. On an average, maybe customer would have bought some other products. On an average, basically it came for at about a $14. Just imagine if average cost of my products, the products being sold through my website are about $100. That means suddenly this particular revenue with the same effort, same number of sales, the revenue would have gone nearly 7 times. That means my total revenue of 700 would have become about a 5,000 US dollars just in 8 months. This is, we are in September 9 today, so we are talking about almost January to August, 8 months. For 8 months, $5,000 means almost per month 700 plus dollar only from Amazon affiliate. And then to that, if I add about a 250 $300 of my display ad commission, $1,000. That's about it. So $1,000 for about a 30,000 per month page views with primary traffic from US is not a vague assumption at all. It is a very, very realistic analogy, whoever actually suggested that. So clearly we can see here that is a very much practically possible had I paid enough attention in picking up the right products while writing my affiliate related content. So I know a lot of some of the bloggers who are getting only half of my traffic, half of the traffic that what I am getting, but they are making at least 4 times, 5 times of what I am making. So couple of bloggers whom I closely follow and I interact, the traffic is at about a 20K per month, but earnings are about a $1,500. Reason is their average cost is about a 120, $130 is average cost of their product. So pay attention towards it, because it would be difficult at the later stage to change the products. If you are going to write the reviews of the products, so that means almost your 50% of your article is going to be about those products. So if you want to replace at the later stage, then that means you are almost rewriting majority part of your article, which is not going to be easy. So at the early stage itself, while creating the first set of articles, especially money articles, that means the buyer intent articles, pay special attention towards the product you are picking up. So there will be some constraints. For example, if you are if you picked up a niche that doesn't have so many high cost products, if the product cost is about $10, $12, then you can't do much about it. But within that segment, look at basically high cost product. But again, a word of caution here: while picking up the high cost product, don't just pick purely based on the cost with low ratings, low reviews and all that. That won't go through. Then customer will not buy that. You always need to give high priority to the quality, good reviews, good feedback, good specs, all those things. After satisfying all those criteria, then look at the cost variable, and then pick up the products which are having the comparatively better cost, so that when the sales happen, you get a better commission from that. This is one mistake I did. Almost 70% of the products I included in my website are average about $7 to $8. And then because customer brought some other products in Amazon, within 24 hours whatever customer buys comes into our commission. Because of that, average has come to about a $14. So this is one place where I got badly. I did not do no thought process when I created the content, so I can clearly see an impact on this. So this is one area where I will have to surely improve when I create my next affiliate blog. And this is one advice for you to pay attention when you are creating your affiliate content. This is number one. Let's move on to number two. Number two is product shelf life. Now again, so some of the products will have a shelf life of about years, and they will stay there. And then some of the products are very trendy and they will just disappear or become outdated in the market within months and sometimes within a year. I will give a classic example. If you, for example, pick up a coffee machine, normally coffee machine shelf life will be much longer. They stay for about 3-4 years. Similar model, maybe small variation will be there, but they stay there. But if you pick up, for example, mobile, if the tech niche, if you go into the mobile mobiles, then every 6 months the model changes. Especially more importantly, if you are focusing onto the Android mobiles, then this is too fast. Technology changes too fast. Likewise, if you pick up most of the electronics, if you go for television, mobile, even laptops nowadays, so most of these configurations keep changing, and the product shelf life will be very short. So you need to be very careful if you are writing content exclusively on those kind of products for which shelf life is short. Keep in mind, after 6 months or 1 year, your content will have to be revised. So two things you can do. One is, best way is basically avoid picking up those kind of product, those kind of niches where the shelf life is too short. That's the safest way. That means you pick up a niche where the shelf life of the products is much longer, at least maybe a couple of years, so that your site can mature and all that. Then after that, after a point of once you start earning, you can keep adding more content. The second option is, if you are very passionate about certain product, and if you are already decided that you want to write one such a niche or product because of your expertise, experience, comfort and all those things, but still if the shelf life is less, then design your articles in such a way that after a few months or after a year, if you want to replace those specific portions where you mentioned the products, then you need not to rewrite the entire portion of the content. So that will be little tricky. So but you need to keep this in mind. So typically in buyer intent content, you will have about introduction, list of products, then your buyer guide, then for each product basically you are going to describe the details and all those things. While writing it, isolate the sections where you are talking about each of the product. Don't mix up product in one product details with the another product details, that both the product details into your buyer intent, your buyer guide content and all those things. If you That's actually good way of writing if you are creating a content for with the longer shelf life of the product. But if your products are of shorter shelf life, so keep the product descriptions, product reviews isolated, so that after 6 months or after a year, even those two or three products get outdated in the market, you pick up the latest products and replace those sections and then resubmit to the Google. That's very important. Otherwise, what happens is your article will get ranked for a few months. It will stay there. Then people will not show any interest towards those products. Slowly, it will basically get faded away. All your efforts will not last longer. That is another very important thing to keep in mind while you create your affiliate website. Especially, see, most of these sites, the niche blocks will take about 6 months to start showing some ranking after you publish. Then another you actually start seeing some good earnings after a year only. So if the shelf life itself is about a 6 months, 1 year, then by the time your site starts performing well, your products gets outdated. Then there won't be many takers for those products. That's the another risk. So keep that in mind. Then either you pick a niche where you have a longer products with longer shelf life, or you pay special attention towards the article structure while writing the content, so that it's easy for you to replace those products after 6 months or after 9 months or after a year, when these products will become outdated. That's the second thing. Of my niche is beauty, and I had this problem, but thankfully it's a mixed experience for me. I did not have many items that with a shorter shelf life, and I did not think through about this point. Fortunately, accidentally, this happened. So I'm not in big trouble with respect to this particular problem. But still, had I paid attention towards it, probably I would have done better. Maybe I would have included even some of the products that where I'm actually facing some problem. So it's a I'm not completely in trouble now, but still some of the products had this kind of impact. That's the number two. And the last one is the structure of your content. So what happens again here is, when you are writing your buyer intent content or informational content, So you need to pay special attention towards the details and the longevity and how long you want this content to stay, all these factors. Especially if you are writing, if you are talking about the affiliate commission, then we are talking about only buyer intent content, not informational content. Now, what happens is, again, this is if you are a new blogger, you will not have that much of clarity about how you want to format your buyer intent content or informational content. More or less, for both will follow the similar structure. You have headings and all those things here and there. You put some product boxes and all those things. So what happens after an year is those articles will start performing on top. Now, at that stage, your conversions will not be as you expect, because the reason is, if your article structure is not purely the driven through increase your conversions, then it will actually generate some display revenue, ad revenue, but you will not have good conversion. What it means, I will tell you what it is. For example, I picked up an article to write about, let's say, best some X, maybe best organic shampoo for to avoid hair fall and all that. For the new bloggers, what they do is they put the similar kind of a content, like as if they are writing informational content, like, again, what are all the reasons for hair fall, what you need to do to avoid hair fall, and then basically what are all the ingredients that will be there in all those, and they include all those things. Then you basically include some products also here and there. But if you are very focused with respect to buyer intent content, what you do is you don't talk much about all these reasons and all these basically general information or knowledge related to topic. Instead, you actually focus more on which product is best, which product is not value for money, and which has so many features, which perfectly suits to your problem. You will try to personalize the features and the product to the customer's needs or problems, so that you will increase the probability of the conversion. Or okay, so that's what you do if you are focused on the buyer intent content. But for the new bloggers, if you are starting a new website, you will not have so much of clarity. You will typically write normal content without so much of focus on the conversion. Then you will also think at that time that later point of time, when article starts ranking well, I will make some changes. Believe me, it is not so easy. I will tell you why. The reason is, for most of the blogs or website, normally top 30% of articles perform, give you nearly 60 to 70% of traffic. This is more or less common across most of the blogs. Top 30 to 40% of your articles are going to get you 60 to 70% of traffic. There may be few exceptions, but by and large, in general, this is what the pattern is going to. Now what happens, that means if you published about, let's say, 100 article, so top maybe a 20-30 articles would be performing well. Out of them, your top 10 articles are going to bring you almost 40 to 50% of traffic to your site. When certain article performs so well, what happens is it not only ranks for your targeted keyword, it also ranks for several other supporting keywords. At that stage, if you go and try to change the content, there is a possibility of disruption of your current rankings. That's a high risk to do that at that stage. So you will be in confusion state whether to touch it or not to touch it. If you don't touch it, your conversions will stay low. If you touch it, then you have a risk of losing the rankings. Then with that confusion, most likely you will avoid touching it, whichever is performing well. So you will have to live with that low conversion. So because of that, suggestion is, when you are starting now the new blog, at the start itself, take additional precautions, follow certain guidelines, look at the best structure, look at the best format that fits for any of the buyer intent or affiliate content to increase your conversion percentage. That's all what it is. So I will give you an example here. So this is my own blog. Now if you see here, these are my top 6 pages. In 6 pages, almost, if you calculate the percentage of traffic that is getting, first my top most performing blog is getting me 13% of traffic of entire site. Next one is 8%, next one is 7%. So 15 plus 13, that means 28, and then 7%, that means about 35%, then 45%. My top six blogs out of 100 are getting about nearly 40% of traffic for me. Of course, my recent last 30-40 blogs haven't started performing well yet. Those are just published about 2-3 months back. Let me take only 50 articles, because all these are 50 articles I published some time ago already. So out of 50, nearly 6 articles are getting me about a 40%. That most 15%, 12% of my articles are getting me 40%. Now, if I want to touch any of these articles, for example, this article, let's say first article, the first article length itself is about a 1200 word. A 1200 word article is ranking for about a 300 different keywords. Second article is about I think 1600 words. 1600 word article is actually ranking for a 700 different keywords. Now, if I just can't take risk. If I disturb it, it is not ranking for one or two keywords. It's 316 different keywords it is ranking for. Now, if I just change the content, I never know which combination will actually go down. For which combination I may lose the traffic. There is a high risk is there. So best bet would be I will just stay away from that. Okay, whatever conversions happening. But now if I disturb it, there is a fear that I may lose even the current traffic that I am getting, even the current conversion that I am obtaining. So this is the biggest risk. So because of this reason, you most likely will not be able to modify or touch the top performing articles at the later stage. And top performing articles are the articles that are getting you the money. So you can change the content or whatever it is for the of the articles that are not performing well, but then they may perform, they may not perform. But these top performing articles are for sure are giving you money, but not as much as you expected or as much as they are supposed to be in ideal situation, just because you did not or I did not or we did not pay enough attention towards the structure of that particular money content to maximize the conversion. Our entire goal in the beginning is to push the content, to get the rankings, to get the traffic. Then we wanted to optimize the monetization. But for buyer intent content, you will have to take care of these certain things in the beginning itself, so that once it starts performing, you just basically keep earning the money rather than going and making any change that may actually disrupt the performance that is happening at that time. Also, that risk is there. So these are the three things I felt I did not do a great job in for my current blog. Had I did it, probably I would have been earning about nearly at least 3x of what I am earning. But all these are learnings for me, which I will try my best to implement in my next blogs. 100% you may not be able to do it because of there will be a lot of constraint depending on the niche you pick up, depending on the writers you can hire, depending on the budget constraint you have, depending on the time you can spend on that, and the markets you pick it up. There will be a lot of constraints are there, but within those constraints, try to best utilize these inputs and do the best possible job. At least be conscious about these factors, that these are going to significantly impact your revenue, so that you do best possible job in the beginning itself, so that later point of time you need not to revisit or regret for not doing something right in the beginning. That's what all I wanted to convey. So if you are starting a new blog, especially focusing onto the affiliate marketing, then please pay some attention towards these factors and take necessary precautions, so that you start earning good amount of money when your site start performing well. So that's all for today. Hope you like the content. Thank you very much for your time. Bye.